Welcome to another episode of the Pocket Parlay Podcast, episode 15 on February 5th, 2024. And it is officially Super Bowl week. I'm here with my
Soupy.
favorite co host, Mr. Zachary Mishik and Mr. Ryan Head. How we feeling, boys?
Doing good. I think Ryan's scared though. Oh, he's back.
I ain't scared of nothing. Feeling good, feeling light.
Before we talk Super Bowl, just because it's been in the news recently, I wanted to ask both of y'all, how do y'all feel? What's y'all stance really on the 65 game rule for the NBA? Just because I've seen it in the news about talking about Tyrese Halliburton, talking about Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I can share my opinion super quick. Not a huge fan of it. I think it'd be cool to see. I mean, like this rule hasn't been in place any other year, and we're seeing Embiid have a crazy year. He might be out the rest of the year having surgery announced today. But I'm not a huge fan of the rule. I think if people around the league and the fans vote that you're the best player in any given category, that you should be able to win it no matter how many games you played. That's my opinion.
See, I'm torn. I don't think it's a problem, but I do think some of the voters take in consideration who's played more games during like the MVP award and stuff like that. But I never thought about the aspect of Tyrese Halliburton not getting an extra $50 million. I never thought about the all NBA stuff or anything like that, and I think that's pretty messed up for guys like him. I think there should be a rule in place. I don't know how you do it because I don't know. I think Joel Embiid gets a lot of hate, and so I'm fine with it. I'm on the hating side. Like I'm fine with him being left out. He's been dodging, especially since the dodging of Jokic. But it turns out he's actually was injured. But there needs to be more talk about it. But the players are mad now. They signed off on it. Like they don't get approval. Like it doesn't get approval if the NFL or the NBA PA or whatever it's called doesn't sign off on it. So what are you supposed to do about that?
Uh, I I actually love the rule. Um, I will say I agree with you, Zach, a little bit. I think the only thing they should do is just take away um, the stipulation of you had to make an all NBA team to be eligible for those max contracts. I think it should be a free market. If you want to pay someone $50 million a year and they only play 40 games a year, you should be able to pay it. But when it comes to the all NBA teams, the MVP award, all those awards, the best abilities availability, and 65% is 80% of games. 80% of games, if you don't play in that, I don't think you're the MVP no matter what your stats are because you're missing the other 20%. Uh, Zach, are you talking about Luca? Okay. But I just don't think that if you like miss 30 games in a season, you can say you're the MVP because you averaged 35 and 15 because there are guys who play 80, 82 games who might average 30 and 10 and make a bigger impact because they played every single game. So I just kind of wanted to get everyone's opinion on it. I think they're going to have to revise the rule a little bit this year, either take away the All NBA affects contracts or adjust the games, something. But I like the rule. Gives you an incentive to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. They only did it because of the TV money, and they had to show that the product is going to be out there X amount of time to get the most money. It's seeming like we're getting a decline in NBA pay, though. Like we're hitting the max pay it's going to get, and it's going to soon start declining once like the streaming comes involved and all that kind of stuff.
Uh, I think they're going to get like an expansion team in the next couple of years, and that's going
Okay,
to
yeah.
boost the market.
Can we talk about that expansion team? There's teams like the Portland Trailblazers, Blazers, and Detroit Pistons. How can there be an expansion of two more teams if like we still have some really bad teams in the league? I know we have a lot of talent, but like there's going to be like it's going to bring down like the value kind of lower, isn't it?
I don't
I
think
don't think
so. We've
so.
seen how successful the NHL has been bringing on expansion teams and the money it's brought them. I don't think there's any reason why the NBA wouldn't do it. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's business. Like it's just more money.
Yeah. Did you?
gives 24 new players more opportunities to play.
But
So I like it.
the product is kind of going downhill. We saw the not yeah, women's basketball beat out the NBA on a primetime game. They had more viewers than a Boston Celtics game.
Was it Caitlin Clark though?
Caitlin, no, it was the LSU versus South Carolina game.
So two top 5 teams. I mean, Zach, are you hating on women's basketball? Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
I think
I'm
they
pro
should.
Caitlin Clark in the NBA. I think that girl is sick. I want the Wings to draft her. I think that'd be so cool. But I
Dude,
just it's just hard. Like, how do you get like the product is regular season is tough for the NBA. It is. I think that MLB is seeing that too. But they're trying. You got to make it more fun. Got to figure that out.
yeah.
Feel like
Okay.
the NBA's been struggling. Sorry, we can move on in a second, but I feel like the NBA's been struggling with their product for like what they want to put out, what they want the game to look like for the past couple of years. For the past couple of years, every offseason, there's been these rule changes on like fouling or like there's been a lot of rule changes for the past couple off seasons. So I yeah, I'm with you, Zach. Like it's they're trying to figure out how to make the game more watchable. I feel like adding more teams, mixing it up a little bit might help it out, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And I'm honestly just yelling at stuff because I mean Joel Embiid missed a rivalry game, and they said Denver is a rival to who? Like it's literally the players matchup. That's all it was, and then one of the players ducked, and then Adam Silver gets an extension that day. Like, that's a tough day for the NBA.
Well, I like Adam Silver actually, but he gave us the playing tournament. But shifting over to football now. We're going to be talking a lot of basketball after this week. 49ers Chiefs Sunday 5:30 Central Time on CBS. Currently the lines at San Francisco -1.5. So do a little analysis, a little breakdown, and a score prediction of this game. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a fairly close game, but I do think the Chiefs are going to win. I've got the score at 27-21. Um, I don't know. I just feel like it's another year, another Kansas City team that I don't know. Maybe this year feels a little different because they didn't look that great all year. I wasn't sure if they were even like going to be a good playoff team, but when they get to the playoffs, it's the Pat Mahomes show. Their defense is a little bit better this year. I think they're able to get out to a little bit of a lead to start the game and then run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco a little bit. I think it's going to be fairly close, but I do think Kansas City's going to win. And I don't think it's going to be like Pat Mahomes has to get it on a game winning drive or Brock Purdy doesn't get it on a game winning drive. I think it's going to be a Kansas City win. What do you think, Zach?
Calling a whomping? You calling the whomping?
Yeah, I don't want to see it, but it
That
feels
means so
inevitable.
many more pans to Taylor Swift. That's what you're asking for. Swifty fan over here.
No, I'm not.
All right,
But
Zach, what do you got for the game? You're the Swifty out of all of us, so
Yeah. Anybody else excited about that fourth Grammy? Yeah. No. All right.
I
Bunch of
think it was
haters.
14th, but good try. Are you talking about the album of the year thing?
Yeah. The only thing that matters. Who else has done
Oh,
that? Nobody except her.
Jesus Christ.
Goat. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 21-14. 21-17. Chiefs. I'm gonna go icky score. Low scoring. I'm going. Or I'll wait for my picks later.
Okay.
That's line
I
up.
guess I'll go on my picks. I think this is going to be kind of a defensive battle for probably 3 quarters, just because I think the Chiefs are allowing like the fourth least amount of points in the playoffs out of any team in history. Um, and obviously the 49ers team, when you got Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and even though Chase Young hasn't played well, still Chase Young. they're probably going to be able to get to Patrick Mahomes a little bit more, um, and lock down some of those receivers, even though they don't really have any for the Chiefs. But I'm going my prediction. I think it's gonna be like really close, and then Chiefs gonna break away within the last 6-7 minutes, like they do every single playoff game. So mine is 27-17. I'm on the Womp train. So,
21-17 is a womp.
or sorry, 27-17.
Okay.
10 points in the Super Bowl. I'll be in horrendous shape watching Travis Kelce get on one knee, propose to Taylor Swift, still drop an album that night. You know,
I
it'll
can't wait to
be,
see the 49ers. You know how they have that like jukebox that they walk out to every time?
yeah.
Yeah.
Famous by Kanye West. I made that famous. Oh my God, come on now. If they come out with that song, they might win the game. But we'll see what kind of tone the 49ers want to set.
We need the correct song selection here.
Really do.
Uh,
That would be funny.
so all
You
of
think
us are going Kansas City. Y'all two kind of have it closer than I do. What do y'all think like Brock Purdy needs to do in this game to win?
make plays with his legs?
That's what I was gonna say.
I
That's kind
really
of his X factor.
Yeah, he's quicker than I thought. It's a lot quicker.
For me, it's less about what Brock Purdy needs to do. It's he needs to not make mistakes. And if he can get the ball into it's like what can Kyle Shanahan do? If they can get the ball into Debo's hands and McCaffrey's hands all game, Kittle a little bit, uh, Ayuk, like that whole offense is just sprinkled with weapons. As long as he doesn't make mistakes, which we've seen him make throughout the playoffs, um, I think if he goes back to like what he's been doing during the regular season, they should be okay. My big question mark is like, can Kansas City get out to a lead at the beginning of the game? Because the 49ers have struggled against the run the past couple weeks. And if Kansas City gets out to a, 14 point lead and they're able to run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco, I think it's going to be really difficult for Brock Purdy not to make those mistakes and make the plays that he needs to make to get back in the game. So I think it's limiting the mistakes on Brock Purdy's end, and just getting the ball to like all of the weapons that they have. I mean, they've got so many Pro Bowlers on the offensive side of the ball. Um, yeah, it'll be an interesting game. Not the game I wanted, but it actually should be a good game.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why this game kind of feels so boring also is because the 49ers, it's like once they got to the playoffs, the 49ers kind of declined in play. I mean, they snuck past the Packers, they snuck past the Lions, and I saw somewhere they were talking about the Lions game. Like we all kind of forgot that that play by Brandon Ayuk when the ball bounces off the Lions safety's face and he catches it and goes down like the 1 yard line. I mean that's a 40, 50 yard gain right there on what could have been a luck play or what was a luck play and could have been an interception that could have still turned the tide of the game. While the Chiefs, on the other hand, dominated the Dolphins. They didn't dominate the Bills, but when you play Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be close. And I mean, they really kind of dominated the Ravens, even though the score didn't really look like it. It felt like they dominated.
Yeah,
Strip sacking Lamar, pick, another fumble on Zay Flowers, 3 turnovers by defense against the MVP is a great game.
seeing Patrick Mahomes be held to I think 3 points through 3 quarters. You worried about that at all?
No, just because I don't think there was any defense this year like the Ravens defense. Like I think 49ers have a good defense, but I just don't think they're on the same level as the Ravens. And even if yeah, he got held for 3 points through 3 quarters, but that first quarter he had 14. So Patrick Mahomes can explode at any time. It's just kind of when will it happen? And it's almost like you wanted to happen at the first quarter and then work your way up because how many times we've seen like the Chiefs be stuck at 14 points then get to the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it's like big throw by Patrick Mahomes every single down. So next Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, we're watching the best quarterback that's ever played the game, I think.
Wonder if he'll have the longevity. That's always the question with being the GOAT in any topic. He's got to
Well,
play for a little bit longer.
If he wins another Super Bowl this year, like
He's on pace.
first 8 years or whatever he's in, 7, like these are the best first 7 years that any quarterback has ever had. It has to be. It's insane. And he sat his whole first year. Like I don't think he played one whole snap.
No.
all right. Well, going on here, looking at our. Wait, what?
Moving on.
Oh, sorry. I kind of zoned out for a second. I
It
was
was funny
pulling
the
up the player
All right.
props for the Super Bowl.
You don't want to talk about it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to hear any more about that loser.
Are you nervous for the future of the Chargers? Having to face this guy for the rest of your life? And
No, I think they're nervous that Jim Harbaugh is going to be there for the next 5 years.
that's an interesting topic. That's an interesting take. I have not heard that yet. But I
Well,
like
I
it.
mean, Stephen A's already said it. He thinks that we can win it all in LA. I mean, you got Justin Herbert, who's now going to have a competent run game. Potential should have a competent run game with him for the first time in his career. Ryan, wipe that look off your face. I can't even
And
hear
who's
you.
your running back? How do you say you have a competent running game without a running back?
Picking Blake Corum in the what was it, fourth round?
Yeah, there you go. I said that last episode.
It's like just it's magical world in your head. So it's fun to talk about. But
It's La La Land. You know that, Ryan. La La Land.
Listen. If there's one guy who going into the draft knows more about the college players than the rest of the scouts, it's probably Jim Harbaugh, considering he played against most of them. You're forgetting like he played against Alabama, he played against Ohio State, he played against Penn State. I mean,
I forget
played
these.
against Washington. What more? What more do you want?
I want the Chargers to succeed. You think this like we don't want you
Why
to
is this now a Chargers topic? I did not bring up the Chargers here.
oh, okay, we can move on. I thought we were just
Yes. No. We'll talk off-season talk later in a month from now. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the Chargers. They broke my heart so much this year. All right. Start off with the first player
Wait,
prop.
before we move on, how many wins did they have this year? I forgot.
5, I think.
Oh, okay.
4.
What draft? You taking a tackle?
Taking Brock Purdy, or not Brock Purdy, Brock Bowers, best tight end in the
That is-
league,
I like that.
incoming.
I hope y'all get him. I hope y'all get him.
I hope we do too, because I can't live through another Quentin Johnston situation where I'm crying and screaming at my TV.
Can you catch a
Uh,
fastball?
huh?
Can you catch a hard ball? Did we
Yeah, you
watch
can catch a
film
hard
on
ball.
this? We did.
That's,
Okay.
people forget Stetson Bennett. He was slinging it at Georgia. He wasn't throwing no ducks. But we'll leave NFL draft talk. We'll leave Chargers talk for another day. The first prop I wanted to bring up was anytime touchdown players. So I'm gonna list off a few. I want y'all to tell me who y'all's favorites for value and just who you want to take is. So Brandon Ayuk is at plus 175. Brock Purdy's at plus 600. McCaffrey's at minus 230.
Put the
Clyde
house.
Edwards-Helaire is plus 500. Debo plus 130. George Kittle plus 175. Pacheco minus 120. Just because I have to throw that out there. Kadarius Toney plus 500.
Those are horrible. odds.
McCole Hardman plus 850. MVS plus 500. Pat Mahomes plus 400. Rasheed Rice plus 140. And Travis Kelce minus 125.
I like the Rasheed Rice or the Debo a lot. Or just bet the house on CMC. You gotta bet everything you have on that guy.
Yeah, his odds are just horrible.
It's guaranteed.
Honestly,
The Brock Purdy wasn't bad. Like I figured they could get into a short goal line situation, or he breaks like a decent yard run when they're in the red zone or something, like that's 500. Is that what it was?
600.
600. That's not horrible.
How are Chiefs against the like tight end
Better
matchup?
odds than what Kadarius Toney had, which I think is crazy.
I know. I
That's not
well, I'm surprised Kadarius Toney's even going to play
he
because he
hasn't
was
played
on
in
the
playoffs, right?
injury report. Yeah, he was on the injury report.
Crazy. There's
Probably,
no way he gets a touchdown.
yeah, brain injury.
Game
I,
winning. That'd be sick.
That'd be
uh,
crazy.
I would,
And
I would
then
hate
the
my
just
life. See that freak celebrate. I'm gonna take Clyde Edwards-Helaire at plus 500, just because they love to use him in a receiving game, and plus 500 is too good a value, especially because I mean they wear the tires off of Isaiah Pacheco quickly, so
he's still stomping. He ain't
he's
worn out.
stomping, but he'll also be in pass protection more often than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I just think it's good value to take Clyde. Do y'all want to do first touchdown score? That's just
Not
pure luck.
yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I'm going
Okay.
for the. I went under. Wait, I do have bets out there
Do
though.
like yards, passing yards.
Yeah, I just pulled up passing yards. So Brock Purdy's line is at 248 passing yards. I will hammer the under. I'm all under here.
I'm
Zach?
thinking Debo, like a Debo screen is going to take something like long. If they're going to get a play, it's going to be something like that.
Even if he has 100-yard Debo screen, he still has to throw for 150 pass yards.
What's his previous games?
There's no way. I don't like it.
Let's see. What was Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson.
Defense.
Lamar finished with 272 passing.
Yeah, but they ran the ball like 6 times. They had
I know,
McCaffrey
but I'm
do that.
saying Lamar, the MVP,
What about
and if he
Josh
didn't
Allen?
run, only finished with what, 25 more yards?
Threw the ball all game long. He
Yeah.
barely.
What happened with Josh Allen?
Are we really going to compare Josh Allen to Brock Purdy? Is that what you're about to ask me to do?
Let's do it. Bring out the analysis.
Josh Allen, 186.
Dang.
Under.
To be fair, Josh Allen also ran the ball 12 times for 72 yards.
Yeah.
Lamar ran it.
It sounds like we need to take the Brock Purdy over rushing yards. That's what it sounds like they bet is.
Let me see what his rushing yards are actually right now. His rushing yards are 12 and a half. I'll take that.
Wow. Let's change that to 20 and let's make some plus money.
Yeah, we might have to. So are we all in agreement on under for passing yards for Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Pats is like the same.
I'm gonna write this down on the back of this. Save the date.
Hey,
Um,
do we think that it's going to be a home game for the 49ers since it's so close to Cali?
No.
Or do you think Chiefs travel well?
Yeah, Chiefs travel.
Okay.
Pat Mahomes. His line is at 261.
That's ridiculous. Over. How are they the same?
That's not the same. 248 and 261. It's a 13-yard difference.
13 yards passing. It's basically
Not hard. Not
I'm
hard.
also gonna go under here just because I have belief this is gonna be a very defensive game, and I don't think the 49ers cornerbacks get the respect they deserve. Zach,
Over.
over. Okay,
Hammer
we're
it.
not unanimous. Just saying it's not unanimous. Rushing yards. Christian McCaffrey is at 89.5. So we do like on three. We'll do a thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. 1,
Wait, that's bad
2.
podcasting. We gotta say up or down.
No,
People
just
listen to
thumbs
us
up,
on Spotify.
That was it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Going under.
Under.
Ooh. Okay. So Ryan has the over on McCaffrey. Oh, Debo Samuel's rushing prop. First off, do a little whose line is it anyways? Y'all want to guess what the line is for Debo?
13.5.
32.
16 and a half. 32 rushing yards for Debo. 16 and a half. I'm gonna go over on that. I can see Kyle Shanahan drawing up some trick plays to get Debo the ball.
For McCaffrey, I had the over. I feel like they're going to rely on the run game a little bit. I feel like he breaks a run play or two. That's just why I have McCaffrey over.
What about Debo?
Debo, I've got what was it, 16 and a half?
Yeah.
I like the 13 and a half I gave. I guess I'll take the over. Like, I figure he
Okay.
gets 3 or 4 runs during the game. If he breaks one of them for 10 yards, then he'll probably hit the over. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. So he has to have like one good run to hit the over, I think.
Okay. Zach?
Under what? Under the rushing?
Yeah.
89 and a half and then 16 and a half.
Under CMC, over what's it called? Debo.
We're on the same wavelength here, Zach. Let's go now to Isaiah Pacheco. His line is 65 and a half.
Already took the over.
I'm going over.
To the moon.
So Pacheco.
I just
Gotta
think
remember the one.
I think Kansas City gets off to a lead. I think they start off with a 7-14 lead, and they're able to run the ball 16, 17 times. I also think his rushing attempts is at 16 and a half. I like the over on that, depending where it's at. But yeah, I think they run the ball a decent amount. Just depends how they're able to start the game.
All right.
I got first quarter under, and I got third quarter over. Those are my locks.
You already here.
You heard it here, the Michigan locks.
Under
All right.
it was under 9.5 for the first quarter, and over 9.5 for the third quarter.
Okay. This is kind of insane to me. Pat Mahomes is his rush yard line is at 26 and a half. I'm taking the under on that one. 49ers defense flies around too much to let him break off a big one.
That's the problem. They fly around so much that he might be out of the pocket, like scrambling, having to run for a couple 5-6 yards over here and there.
Yeah, it just depends if it's going to become an actual game. Like he's going to have to make plays, and he will. Or if they
So are y'all taking the over though?
I don't think. I like the over, but I don't think the game's going to go that way. That's my hesitation.
So what? I need a definite answer here. Over.
To the moon. Locked. Wow, nipples.
All right.
Our podcast.
And then receiving yards. I'm not gonna do everyone here because frankly I don't care.
Over Debo. Over Debo.
Over Debo 58 and a half.
Yeah.
I like that one. I'll go over on Debo 58 and a half.
I got it at 57 if you bought my picks.
What is Kittle?
Kittle is at 48 and a half.
I like Kittle a lot more.
Yeah, no one answered my question. How are the Chiefs against tight ends?
I honestly don't know.
And like Nick Bolton's a big line. I honestly don't know, but
because I like George Kittle, but also their defense. I know they have great corners. They're like Brandon Ayuk.
Kittle, you have to have a really good safety or a like long corner that can, or a super athletic linebacker that can match up against George Kittle because they're 6'6", fast as a wide receiver. I like the George Kittle a lot more. 10 less yards. I feel like that's safer.
Anybody else see that picture of George Kittle and Steph Curry? And Steph Curry made George Kittle look normal.
Yeah, it always freaks me out when I see an NFL and NBA player together. NBA players are actually freaks. Yeah. Travis Kelce, 70 and a half.
Over.
Over.
I'm going under.
What's your analysis?
Swifties can cry.
There it is. I knew it.
I'm not gonna lie. Just because she's dating Travis Kelce has made me dislike Taylor Swift even more.
What do you? Okay, let's do our own over under. How many times? Let's put this in the side. How many times do you think they're going to cut to Taylor Swift?
I'm going 10.
Over
Over 10?
like 37.
I'll go under 10. I'll do under.
Dude, every time Kelsey catches a ball, they show her, and then at halftime, they're gonna show every reaction she has to the halftime performance. Every time there's a big play, a touchdown, it's a Super Bowl. Got to get the
Oh
ratings.
yeah. They're gonna in the middle of the Super Bowl halftime performance, they're gonna be like, can you imagine if Taylor had decided to perform? Ooh.
Also, do you think it's going to be the most watched Super Bowl ever because we're getting all this extra audience in?
I hope not. I hope it's the least watched.
Definitely could be.
It's going to be.
Well, just going off some other crazy ones. What do you think the Gatorade color will be?
I think it's going to be water. I don't think it's going to be Gatorade.
No, it's gotta be Gatorade.
Plus 5,000. It's going to be Cheez-Its. We're at the Cheez-Its Bowl.
It's prime.
I'd freak out. I would hate that more than anything.
I'm gonna go with yellow. I feel like classic yellow.
I'm going to go purple.
Ooh, that's a big underdog.
Yeah.
I'm going blue.
I think it's a slept-on
Wait,
flavor.
light blue or dark blue?
Dark blue. Well,
Now we're going into purple. Now we're going to, and I'm gonna be arguing for purple.
No, there's two different flavors, Zach.
No.
One is a darker blue one. Huh?
what flavors?
There's like, I think Glacier Freeze is the light blue.
Cool
And
blue.
then there
Cool
huh?
blue. Cool blue.
Cool blue. Okay.
Cool blue.
And if the Chiefs win, I think there are odds out. I don't know what they are. Travis Kelce proposing on the field.
It's not happening.
No.
I think she would end things like she's. Did you see like them cut to her like in the previous game? She got like pissed off, and the girl in front of her who ended up being Miles Teller's wife. I didn't know that. She was like, "Oh my god," and she was just like, get me off the screen."
I did not see that, but frankly, whenever she's on the TV, I turn away.
I'll be the bank. I'll be the bank for you, Maynard. What bet are you taking? I'll give you good odds.
On any prop for the Super Bowl?
Nope, the Taylor Swift getting proposed to.
I mean, I'm gonna take the no because I don't want to lose my money.
Thank you.
So, or I'll take like 100 million to 1 odds, and I'll bet you $1.
You should not want to be friends ever again if you win.
I'd be a rich man. I wouldn't need friends. All right.
Happiness, pal. Money does not buy you happiness.
All right. Do y'all have any other props you want to go over before we cut it loose before watching the Super Bowl?
No. I just really had this pink pillow hanging out for this entire podcast, which I didn't. I wish.
Dude, everyone wants to know your style. They know that blanket behind you is not yours.
We got nipples and we got pink pillows. And we got faces in the background. We got to set up a better podcast for our rooms.
Yeah, this has been pretty good.
I need like a microphone. I need all that kind of stuff.
Well, once we get more views, we'll get the gear together.
Subscribe to our Dub Club.
Yeah, somewhere around here.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Until next time. Adios.